I'm Richard Roeper, and this is a special edition of the Roeper Rundown, my exclusive take on the series finale of Sons of Anarchy. Okay, spoiler alerts everywhere. Don't say I didn't warn you. Like so many previous episodes, the series finale of Sons of Anarchy kicked off with a musical montage. But the fact it was set to Bruce Springsteen's Adam Raised a Cain told us just how important this series has become. It was the perfect song from an artist who's very careful about lending his music to any TV show or movie. But Sons of Anarchy was that special. It was time for Kurt Sutter's Shakespearean biker opera to zip up the body bag one last time. One of the great things about this show was nobody was immune, and beloved characters could be killed off at any time. It did make dramatic sense for Ron Perlman's Clay Morrow, among others, to die off, but every time they subtracted such a powerful presence, it was only natural for some fans to downgrade their emotional investment. Now, even with all the chaos and the blood and the plot surprises, Sons of Anarchy actually had kind of a comfortable rhythm. When a bunch of men were in a room, they all took turns reciting their lines almost in comically precise fashion. But here's what made it all work. Sutter's long vision for the grand arc of the storyline and the uniformly excellent performances from literally dozens of fine actors. The universal struggle in Sons of Anarchy was all about whether you can change who you are at the core or finally surrender to your destiny. The war of the mind, as Jax Teller puts it near the very end of the last show. It happens when you try to get right with both family and Patch.
And fear and guilt crippled me.
Nearly every scene in the last SOA was a little self-aware, with so many goodbyes and so many moments of closure. The grim Reaper imagery just before one assassination was kind of awesome, but also undeniably surreal, even for a show that has always asked us to believe the insanely high murder rate in a relatively small area wouldn't attract national news coverage all the time. Did Kurt Sutter do the character of Jax a disservice by having him swerve into the path of a truck driver rather than going down in a blaze of bullets? Now, we know that's the same truck driver who befriended Gemma near the end of her life's path, but Jax doesn't know that. His last act is to put himself into an innocent man's way. It seemed kind of cowardly and selfish, but maybe that was Jax's last attempt to ensure his sons knew he wasn't worth emulating. As for the characters that made it through the last episode, there was something satisfying about seeing Jimmy Smits' Nero and Drea Di Matteo's Wendy driving into the proverbial sunset as the ultimate survivors. Smits' Bobby Simone didn't get out of NYPD Blue alive, and Di Matteo's Adriana met one of the most shocking and tragic ends in The Sopranos. Kind of neat that these two fine actors, who are in two of the best TV shows of all time, wound up with each other in another classic. Was Sons of Anarchy one of the best shows in television history? I did love it, but it was just one notch below the likes of Mad Men and Breaking Bad. Still, it was a great show. We loved it. I'm Richard Roeper. This is the Roeper Rundown.